Good evening, runners from all over Asia. Welcome to the third episode of The Tale of the Trail, our bi-monthly talk show about trail running in Asia. Today, we once again have a fantastic lineup of interview guests, including our two reigning Asia Trail Master champions, John Ellis and Veronika Vadovicova, with whom we will have a conversation about the amended regulations for the 2020 ATM Championship and the Grandmaster Quest, in the wake, of course, of several event cancellations as a consequence of the corona pandemic in the world. Furthermore, we return to South Korea and Jey Jang to find out if it's going to be a yes or a no for Korea 50K at the end of June. Remember that 2 weeks ago there was again some uncertainty about the event as corona infections had been rising again in Seoul. Thailand. What about Thailand? Both Monkey's Trail and Moon 100 were already postponed or cancelled before May, and the next ATM points race is only scheduled for the end of October. That's the big one, of course. It's Ultra Trail Chiang Rai, the Thailand super trail in the ATM Championship. So we haven't really been talking much about Thailand here on the Tale of the Trail show, but we will be catching up this time as we will be talking to runner Pongthorn Thavorn and to UTCR's event director Nob. If the latter manages to get out of a sports ministry meeting in Bangkok, which is taking place also right now. Amy Khor will have a chat with Alex Ang in the Singapore connection, and together with Mark Min, also known as Mark TWT, we've prepared a pre-recorded interview with Jassica Lintanga in Sabah, before we move on to our mystery guest of this episode, and that turned out to be Job Tanapong. So there's a lot on the plate for the next 45 minutes, so let's get right into it. Corona has been ruling the world since March, and unfortunately we are not referring to the beer brand. Just sticking to the sports and entertainment industry, the havoc the COVID-19 virus has caused is unprecedented in recent times. All events have either been postponed or cancelled outright, and this situation won't change anytime soon. After Dalat Ultra Trail, which will be held on the 20th of June exclusively with runners based in Vietnam, we are again looking at an event hiatus of at least 3 months until the Vietnam Mountain Marathon in Sabah on 19 September. Ijen Trail in Indonesia is set for 15 August and will decide on the go or no-go by 15th of June. But given that East Java has just become the new epicenter of the virus in the country of Indonesia, we probably should not get our hopes up very high. It is not all gloom and doom though. Counting the events on the calendar, starting with VMM, we are still looking at 15 to 16 points races. Of course, there is no guarantee all those events will take place, but now we are talking about 4 months out. If you look back for 4 months, Wuhan had only just gone into lockdown. Since then, the corona curve reached its global peak and also already started its decline in most countries, most importantly for us, including here in Asia. Let's hope that in 4 months from today, the pandemic is over. The infection rate is under control to the extent borders can reopen and sports events can again take place. Under which conditions events will take place is another matter that may vary from country to country, but of the essence is first that they can take place again. In the current circumstances, it is no longer opportune, however, to demand from elite runners that they perform at their best in minimum 5 races and the Asia Trail Master Final in order to have a chance to become the Asia Trail Master champion this year. While a few contenders, with hindsight, have been wise to run 1 or 2 of the 3 points races that took place before the lockdowns, others simply did not have the chance to fulfill their ambitions as major early season events such as the 9 Dragons in Hong Kong, Cordillera Mountain Ultra in Philippines, and, at first, Dalat Ultra Trail in Vietnam, very quickly got cancelled or postponed. As such, the following decisions have been made for the continuation of the 2020 ATM Championship. First, the 5 best count system becomes a 3 best count system, +1, 3 + 1. The 1 in 3 + 1 stands for the ATM final, That's Borneo TMBT Ultra 100 on 19 December 2020. While TMBT can be a runner's third race, it will be important to run it for anyone who wants to become the 2020 champion, because in order to boost mainstream media and sponsor appeal, ATM championship contenders are expected to turn up for the final direct shootout of the season in and around Kota Kinabalu. That's Borneo TMBT Ultra 100. Or they will face a points penalty of 300 points. In contrast, the one must-be super trail rule is waived for this year. So there will be no penalty points if you do not run a super trail race this year. All the other details of the championship remain the same and can be checked easily on our website pages. Regarding the Grandmaster Quest, we are extending the time freeze by 4 months until September as well. That means every runner who has already started his personal Grandmaster Challenge now has 6 months more time to achieve the first star. That basically means you have 2.5 years of time since your first completed Grandmaster race. As we wait for some proper trail running action in Dalat next month, we continue to support initiatives such as the ATM 500 Run Asia virtual race that was launched this week by Sportlicious Malaysia in Penang, and which will begin on the 8th of June. You can register as teams of 4 runners and stay motivated to keep the training level up. You can read more on that also on our website news or Facebook page, and of course also on the Sportlicious Malaysia pages. All right, and now we're going to talk to the 2 Asia Trailmaster champions, the 2 reigning champions, John Ellis and Veronika Vadovicova. First, John Ellis, he is the male champion, obviously, originally from Australia. He has been living in Hong Kong for many years and is arguably the city's best-known trail runner. He is also the co-founder of T8 Typhoon Wear, one of the sponsors of Asia Trailmaster. And after a successful but tougher than expected 2019 season, Ellis was actually planning on taking a sabbatical from ATM this year and also to spend a bit more time with his family. Let's see if that is still the case today, especially in the light of the amended regulations that we have just announced. John, welcome to the show. How's life?
Hey Chris, how are you? Life's like everyone. It's been an interesting year, but look, I can't complain. You know, Hong Kong's gotten through the virus, I think, a lot better than most other countries. We haven't had a lockdown here, so I can't complain at all. Still managing to go to work, still managing to run. So you've got to be happy with that.
That's pretty good. Okay. Then we also bring on immediately our female champion, Veronika Vadovicova, of course. Veronika is originally from Slovakia. She was living in Shanghai for some time, but has now recently moved to Hong Kong. Unbeaten on the ATM circuit, Veronika shot to regional fame last year, and after winning the prestigious Idzu Trail Journey in Japan and taking the ATM title a week later, was actually planning a racing campaign at world level for 2020. Veronika, welcome to the show as well.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Veronika, also a brief introductory question for you. As I mentioned, you were planning to race on the world stage this season, and you actually started already in January with that, with a fantastic second place in Hong Kong 100. How sad are you that your racing plans are currently on hold?
Yeah, I think as John said, like we are all in the same boat. So of course, initially I was very disappointed. I had a lot of plans for all the way until end of summer, but we all had to adjust to the situation. So yeah, I just take it as it goes, and instead of focusing on racing, I'm focusing on other things and just staying positive. Also, Hong Kong has been great in terms of running outside. We can still do that, so there's pretty much nothing to complain about right now.
Okay, that sounds good. We remain optimistic. John and Veronika, you have both already had a look at the draft regulations for 2020, the amended regulations for 2020. What is your first impression about our new rules? Either one. Okay, Veronika first.
I can start. Yeah, I think it's great because, like it's been this whole Corona situation has been going on for such a long time, and we saw like race after race being canceled, postponed, but people were kind of giving up on racing this season. It's starting to look a little bit more optimistic, and it's really amazing to see that Asia Trailmaster is reacting to it and kind of like adjusting its rules so that people will be still able to compete and to really like fight for the championship title this year when we all thought it's kind of lost. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. John?
I think exactly the same as Veronika. It's for a while there we thought maybe the whole season would be lost. Things seem to be getting better around the world, and the key thing's going to be borders reopening so that we can travel and we can get to races. But what you've done, I think, makes a lot of sense. It was going to be hard for runners to get 5 races in. I think 3 is reasonable. There's hopefully still going to be quite a lot of races for people to get the opportunity to get their points. And I think it could be a really frenetic, cracking, end of the season that I think is going to be super exciting for everyone watching.
We hope so as well. John, as I mentioned before in the quick intro, you were planning on taking a sabbatical this year, at least from ATM. But when I look at you, you're still looking very much in shape. So you clearly have been training.
Yeah, like for me, running, it's been a stressful few months. And for me, running is my way of just de-stressing. And lots of stress means lots of running. So I've actually probably been doing 130, 140K weeks for the past 2.5 months. I'm probably in some of the best shape that I've been in. And in a lot of ways, I feel like, the sophomore who in a prom dress and the prom just got cancelled. But that's cool. I still enjoy being fit. And yeah, at the end of last year, I did race a lot. My family was really super understanding. Now that they've got to spend a lot more weekends with me, they might want to kick me off to races again. So I'm hoping I might be able to run a few races later in the season.
Yeah, and with only 3 races required, basically, to become champion, at least 3, including TMBT, does that mean that maybe you have an opportunity to retain your title?
I wouldn't want to say that yet until I talk to the to the family. Look, I'll definitely do a few races, and I think we'll just see what happens. Yeah, look, I loved last year. I loved going to new races and seeing new places and meeting the people. I love the whole experience of it. I have a look around at the field this year, and it's a super strong field. Christian's having a good go. Jeff Campbell's coming in. We've obviously got Sherpa and Hisashi again. I think it would be a bit almost arrogant to think that I could just sort of roll into a few races without committing properly to give the championship a shot. So yeah, we'll have a chat with the family, and it might just be sort of doing a few races and just enjoying that. But we'll see what happens.
Okay, that sounds good. Veronika, what can we expect from you on the Asia Trailmaster circuit this year? I'm sure that a lot of the other elite runners in Asia are wondering about that.
Yeah, it's interesting because actually my plans were completely different, but then I moved back to Asia. European races have all been cancelled, and there is not, even if the borders reopen, I think the end of the year is not going to be too busy over there. So I'm considering Asia Trailmaster again, of course, because now it feels like that could be the best option for racing. And now with the new rules, it's kind of, like even though I didn't take part at the beginning of the year, it doesn't matter because there is still hopefully going to be possibilities to race, hopefully starting September. So yeah, I'm definitely eyeing it, and if not to compete, then at least to join a couple of races, because I think everyone will be eager to just go and run as soon as we can.
Okay, yeah. Wonderful. Veronika, just a question on the side. So you're from Slovakia, How has the situation been in Slovakia with the crisis?
So it's been actually quite good. I think we were like the country with the lowest cases per capita. So I'm very happy because my whole family is over there. So of course I've been worried when the situation got worse in Italy, Spain, France, but it's been going okay for them. So I feel like now at this stage, they're almost having more freedom than us in Hong Kong, which again is a bit worrying because they just like went back to like a little bit better than the worst. So hopefully it will stay this way, and yeah, it's okay. But I don't know when I will be able to go back and visit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's still a question mark when the borders will reopen for international travel. John, you're also wearing the T-shirt, well, the prototype of a new shirt and the cap of T8. Can you tell us a little bit more about T8 for this year? Is there something we can expect to come out very soon?
Yeah, look, we've been sort of working pretty hard over the last few months during the lockdown on the product development side. And yeah, a lot of people have been asking for a race tee for a while. This is one of the earlier prototypes. Took a long time to find sort of the right material, which is super lightweight, breathable, but at the same time doesn't give that clingy feeling when you get sweaty. So we're getting pretty close on that. We've got the new version of the Sherpa shorts coming out in a couple of months. We've got some socks, ice bandanas. So yeah, there's quite a lot planned for the second half of this year. And we're also working with Veronika on some shorts as well, which we're pretty excited about too.
Okay, that sounds excellent. Veronika, you have also been busy in your new home in Hong Kong. Asia Trail Girls is the name of your new project. Can you explain us a little bit more about your objective and your inspiration to launch this project?
Yeah, so one of my inspirations was Asia Trail Master. So when I joined last year, I noticed that there is not that many girls joining races in this part of the world. Especially if they do, they usually go for the like shortest distance. They kind of don't challenge themselves. So I started thinking about what could be done to kind of encourage them, motivate them to join, and I came up with the idea of creating a platform for women and girls across Asia where we can kind of support each other, motivate each other, potentially join races together or run together. So it's just starting. I've been working on it for a couple of weeks. So now we have our Instagram account, Facebook, and the website will be launched next week. So I'm super excited because I'm working with plenty of girls who I met through Asia Trail Master from different parts of Asia. And yeah, hopefully it will be something very positive and something that will really encourage women and girls to run and to go and get into trail running and join Asia Trail Master.
Okay, that sounds great. So will this be a proper team then?
I
a girls team, maybe also sponsored by T8 then, or?
I think in the future, perhaps. First, I just want to build out the community, just spread the word, and see if that kind of will be a success. Then, of course, I would like to have different ambassadors in different countries and potentially like running groups in different places, and hopefully one day like a female-only running team. So that would be great if that happens. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Veronika, for this talk, and also to you, John. Stay safe in Hong Kong, by all means, and we're looking forward to seeing you both back on the trails of Asia Trail Master as well.
Thanks, Chris. Can't wait.
Thanks.
That was John and Veronika, and now we're moving over to Korea, and more precisely to Seoul, where we're going to get the latest update from Jey Jang regarding Korea 50K, the event that was rescheduled from April this year, the end of April, to the end of June. And let's find out now if that is still on the schedule. Welcome, Jey. Welcome to the show once more. How is life in Seoul and in Dongducheon, the venue of Korea 50K?
Yes. Hello. Yeah, we are fine, but we actually recently we have a little bit increasing of confirmer of COVID-19. So since the Korean government is implementing very thorough prevention plan for COVID-19, and if there is any spread, we are responding quickly to prevent it. And the government reinforced the refrain of gathering, and we, as an organizer, we want to have a participating in it. So we just decide to postpone once again to end of 19. Actually, the exact schedule is 26 to 7 of September.
The end of September, 26, 27 of September. What does that mean for all the participants who have registered for the race? Are there any special cancellation policies or postponement policies that you're introducing?
Yeah, we actually have an option of for full refund or postpone to next year. Or we, as you know, we also have another race in November, which is
Korean Alps.
High Trail 9 Peaks. And so the participants can also move to the High Trail 9 Peaks.
Yeah.
So they have 3 options now.
That's not so bad. And of course, the High Trail 9 Peaks is also on the Asia Trailmaster calendar for this year.
Yes.
It was a candidate race back in 2017 or 18, can't remember exactly, and had very good reviews from also our reporter over there at the time. So we're looking forward to that. So there's still scope for that event as well then in November. So there's no danger of that event getting postponed?
Well, actually, we cannot show anything now, you know.
True.
So, but we are now preparing for it. So I think it's okay. I hope it's okay. Yeah.
Of course. Is there already any news about the country border of South Korea when international travel will again be possible?
No.
Still not. Yeah, that's like in most cases. Okay, Jey, thank you very much for this brief announcement. Unfortunately, it's a postponement, but it's not a cancellation, so that's always good to hear that it's not cancelled.
Okay.
And the end of September might actually be a nice time for running in Korea, right?
Yeah,
Northern Asia is usually very beautiful.
The weather will be better, yeah.
Exactly. All right. Thank you very much, Jey. And also for you, stay safe, stay out of trouble.
Okay, thank you.
So Korea 50K is undergoing its second postponement. It went from April to June, and now it is going to the end of September. That last weekend of September, by the way, is also the weekend of the Great Malaya Trail in Malaysia. But at this time, we still have no confirmation on of whether that event will be postponed or cancelled. The organizers are still doubting and waiting to see what the Malaysian government is thinking about events in September. There are some rumors that in Malaysia people will need to wait until October. But of course, we will be keeping all of you also updates on that one. And that was the 2020 trailer video of Ultra Trail Chiang Rai, the Thailand Super Trail in the Asia Trail Master Championship. With us now on the program is the event director from Telakau, Nop, who will be talking to us briefly about the situation in Thailand. Nop, good morning or good afternoon. What is it exactly in Bangkok right now?
Yes, good afternoon to you all runners. For COVID situation in Thailand for now, right?
Yeah.
Yes. In Thailand, the COVID situation is maintained and thinking for now, we have the control the situation and about the trail running event in Thailand. In our team, thinking that about October still on.
Yeah.
Not off. Probably.
Probably. So it is still not sure, but probably it will be possible to have Ultra Trail Chiang Rai at the end of October.
Yes, still on October the same day.
Yeah. Yesterday there was a big meeting in Bangkok. You mentioned with the local sports authorities. Is that correct?
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Small group, not a big group.
Okay. So what was the big message from the group? What was the conclusion? No events until October, or?
We all in Thailand thinking about September should be start for the event, but the all event would be the control about the safety and the checking about for the runner who join. But we are still looking for the overall of the COVID situation in 1 month. That means in July.
Okay, so in July there will be another meeting to decide what will be the next steps in Thailand.
Yes.
Nope, you already had 2 big events postponed or cancelled, so Moon 100 and the Monkeys Trail. Do you have any news about those 2 races?
For now, we still hold on and seeing or looking for in June. That's about the number of COVID.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Nop, for this brief announcement. So Ultra Trail Chiang Rai is still on the program, but we still have to wait and see in July what will be decided next. Okay. Thank you very much, Nop.
Okay.
We'll be switching over now to Pongthorn Tavorn, who is a runner from Thailand. Pongthorn, you are based in Bangkok, close to Bangkok.
I'm close to Bangkok, about 100 kilometers from Bangkok. I'm close to Pattaya, Sriracha city. Yes.
I think you could also just hear now what Nop was saying. So basically, there is no conclusion yet about what will happen next in Thailand, it seems. Yes. You as an experienced trail runner, how do you see the situation in Thailand yourself?
Yes, we are also looking for the Ultra Trail Chiang Rai comeback, and I think at the time on end of this year, the situation should be become good. However, I think I'm not sure about the foreigner runner can come to Thailand or not. Yes, but in the Thailand situation is good. Only we have infect people from the come back from another country, but in the Thailand we have no number of patients, no number of infect increase the same.
Okay, so that's at least a relatively good news that the number of infections is relatively stable. Yes. As a runner, so have you been able to train outside in your home area? Yeah.
Yes, we the park just opened to run in mid of this month, and people can go to the park to running, and also during the park crossing, before I saw the people run in the along the road. I mean, the city run. Yes.
Yeah. So for you yourself, have you already been working out again, or are you also just wait?
I keep running, but not hard as last year, but I still keep running.
Yeah. Do you have any major goal for later in the season, a race that you would like to do?
For the coming race, yes, I hope to enjoy the coming race again. At least I hope in the UTCR under Chiang Rai. Yes, I try to finish it again.
Yeah. Have you already done UTCR?
Yes, last year.
Last year, yeah.
Yes.
So what can you tell people about UTCR in your experience? What kind of trail race is it for you?
Oh, it's very amazing. We can see that many like emotion feeling. Yes, because it's a very long distance. 2 nights, 3 days, like a camping, and we have many emotion. Just start and very sometimes like you are alone in the mountain, and sometimes you find a friend and come back to the city and go outside again, and the weather is different. First day run raining and good like a good atmosphere from the after the rain, and the afternoon is very sunny, something like that. Yes,
exactly. Yeah, the ultimate 230. It's very special. Exactly.
Yes.
230 kilometers all the way around the Singa Park.
Yes.
Did you get any sleep during that race?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I think I sleep for maybe 5 times, but short period.
Always short. So what should we imagine? Like 45 minutes, 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, or?
No, just half hour, something like that.
Just a very quick power nap. Yeah.
Yes, just that. I wait until I very tired, and then I take a nap, and then get back fresh again.
Yeah. 230 kilometers is obviously more than an ultra trail. Actually, it's almost a double. How do you prepare for that nutrition-wise? Because we know that more than 100 people already signed up for this year's event.
Yes. Mainly I eat the food that prepared by the organizer, and I also prepare myself about the power gel and the snack for the reserve energy during the running, and I keep the water in my hydration, and mainly I eat the food like rice, noodle that prepared by organizer. I think that is the good energy for me.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember that the 8 stations of UTCR, they're very well stocked with all kinds of food and drinks.
Yes,
that's true.
Yes, very much.
Okay, let's all hope that we can go back to the Singa Park at the end of October for the Ultra Trail Chiang Rai 230 kilometers, or the classic 125, which was the original distance in the first edition. So thank you very much, Pongthorn, for joining us on the program.
Yes.
And hopefully see you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Hello, Amy.
Hi. Hi, Chris.
Hi. How are you doing over there in Singapore?
Oh, good.
Any updates since 2 weeks ago from Singapore?
Still the same. We should be opening on next week. I mean, the measures are easing up, but there's still, of course, the social distancing is pretty still the same. So there's different 3 phases that we're looking at. So until month of June, we are still looking at control and everything. Is that until phase 2, we are not so sure until how many months. Then going on to phase 3 will be likely end of the year.
Phase 3 until the end of the year.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. So that means that it's quite unlikely for any event to take place in Singapore this year.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any race in Asia Trailmaster in Singapore this year, but hopefully the runners in Singapore, because there's a lot of them. I hope that you can all travel to the races, because you have a very large community, right?
Yeah, we hope so too.
Just briefly still before we bring on Alex, I'm sure that this week you have also heard about the launch of the virtual run that we support. So the ATM 500 Run Asia, organized by Sportlicious Malaysia.
That's right.
There has been quite a response from Singapore already.
Yeah.
What is the general feeling? Have you noticed anything from the running community there? What is the talk of town?
Yeah, because Singapore, we still can run outdoor. As long as within the neighborhood, we are still fine. So people are still, I mean, in fact, there are more people than before that's running outside. It's like you can see people that are not runners. They are something you see so many of them out in the parks or near the neighborhood. So I guess being that there's no race now that we can go overseas or even like locally, so people are actually they are very enthusiastic in joining races. So you can like
even if it's virtual.
Yes. As long as I keep them running and active.
Amy, you have chosen one of your mentors to have a chat with us today.
Yes. We have Alex Ang with us today. He's also the T8 and UGLO ambassador. Hi, Alex. How are you?
Good. Things are good. How's things?
Okay, great. Okay, good here. So I believe Alex is not really like a familiar face in ATM races, but in Singapore, he's like very, you can see him almost like everywhere running in trails and ultra races here and there. And of course, some of the big races in UTMF, UTMB and all. So Alex, maybe you can share with us how and when do you start running trails?
Well, I actually started running trail in 2014, about 7 months after my major knee operation in mid 2013. It all started because I was not slated for running after the knee injury, and it's definitely no trails by the doctor. So it's something that I always want to try, and that prompted me going. And my first trail race was actually Hong Kong 100 in 2014, and that was a very good experience.
Okay, and you got stuck with trails.
Yeah, I mean, I do not discriminate, but I would prefer to do trails with the climbing, with the enjoying the scenery, enjoying the entire process, the journey. It's more enticing than pounding pavements all the time.
So before trails, were you running roads or
Yeah, mainly roads. For a while, I'm a late starter. I just started maybe 1 year, 2 years before that, and then had an injury in 2013, and then from then on, it's mainly trails.
Okay. So,
I mean,
sorry, you saying?
no, I mean, well, we cannot get away from roads and pavements. I mean, we only have maybe 3 marathons in Singapore, and those are really good, lead ups or training runs for us in preparation for the ultra. Yeah.
That's true. So, back in Singapore, our own playground, we don't have much like trails or places that's really good verts that can train elevation. So, I mean, now with the COVID-19 situation, I mean, we know that there are many runners from other countries that are also not able to train outdoor and in the mountains even. So, can you maybe give us like, what do you think? What are the alternative workouts then that we can do during this time to continue to still motivate?
Right, but actually we do have enough. We are actually quite lucky because given the COVID situation, we can still venture out. We can run in our immediate neighborhood, and depending on where you stay, those who stay in the west, they have still Bukit Timah and MacRitchie. And those who stay in the east, unfortunately, there are no hills, but you still have a whole stretch of East Coast Park to play with. So I guess we are not bounded that badly as compared to the other countries. We can still get out there and do our exercises. But that's a good point. To those that requires alternative exercises, I think there are 2 things that we need to focus on. One is form and efficiency, and the second is strengthening. Basically, the core strengthening. Because when you're running in the trails in the mountains, there's a lot that comes into play, and core strengthening helps you in several forms. One, to handle the backpack that you carry over long distances. You can imagine 1 kg over 100 click is quite a bit, and we're looking at maybe about 4 to 5 kg. And if it's Mala, it's even worse. So the back strength, the arm strength is important to help you go through that 24 or more hours in a race. All this core helps you promote balance that you need when, especially when you're running downhill, control of your speed and your posture. Bad core strength will give you bad posture, which leads to inefficiency when you run. So core strengthening is important, and there are several alternatives that we can look at in handling hill training. For example, stairs. We can do stair workouts. I'm sure in Singapore we have more high-rise buildings than natural hills, and in fact, I think some of them are higher than Bukit Timah, highest natural resource. Yeah, but if you don't have that, what I sometimes like to do is pick a low-lying hill and do slope repeats and hill repeats. Those are actually very helpful. It helps increase your VO2 max and reduces the chance of getting injury.
Yeah, that's very good tips actually. Okay, so we know that you have done really many, okay, not so many, but yeah, quite a few of very good ultra races, like the hardcore 100 H1, Mala and Tortis Johns, and UTMB, UTMF, and even like ATM races, like you have done Penang Eco, the Moon, and also the Night Dragons. So of these races, or maybe others, what's the most memorable race that you actually feel is the one?
Memorable races. Well, I guess it's going to be a toss between Hong Kong 100, which I did in 2014, just 7 months after my knee operation, and the TDG, which I believe in 2018. My first 100 kilometers trails in Hong Kong was a very painful experience because right after the operation, I had to wear a knee brace to do it, and it was very demoralizing because I cannot go down the steps and the slopes which Hong Kong trails have to offer. And I got passed by almost everyone, and I could only make up time from the climbs and the flats. TDG, on the other hand, was a totally different ballgame altogether. It's basically insanity on steroids, and there's so much thrown into the mix. Not just the difficult terrain, the long distance, but you also need to plan in your nutrition and your sleeping arrangements, when to do it. And when not to do it, and yes, it's tough being out there for an entire week in the mountains, and sleep deprivation, fatigue, exhaustion. Basically, just you develop, you realize that you can find a pain cave that you never thought would ever happen. Yeah, so I believe these are the two memorable races that I've experienced.
But what made you actually join the race? Like, I mean, you're still on the knee brace and everything. Like, just a short time after your injury, why do you actually make a decision to join the 100 race?
No, it's a new year, and it's a balloted race. I got it. I said I'll do it.
Cool. So I mean, like you have A races, right? You just said. So with also you are traveling, you have work, you have family, and a lot of commitment. So what are challenges you face when you prepare for your A race? You need time, right? You need to lead up and all.
24 hours a day. Yeah, that's true. That's what we have, and there are many commitments that we have in life: work, family, friends, and all social activities. There's so much more to do, and it is difficult to have training plans go accordingly. But I believe that it all boils down to priorities. Once you have that, everything will fall into place. For me, it is definitely work and family commitments. So I do most of my training, the bulk of it anyway, during weekends, back to back. I wake up earlier in the morning, 4 or 5 a.m., get home before noon or late morning, so I can spend the day with the family. So that helps, and that works for training up for the challenges that I have.
I see. Okay, cool. So just wondering, what are your, I mean, you've been running for so many years, so what are your running goals? What do you ultimately intend to attain, to do, and what are are there any exciting races that in your bucket list that you really want to do in future?
Running goals. Well, my priorities for running are slightly different. I do it because I really enjoy it. I'm passionate about it. I don't run to improve performance, but rather I run because it's part of my life. It's enjoyable. After my operation, it is something that mobility is something that I felt not to take for granted anymore, and that is something that I've instilled in my daily life, and it's something that I do. And of course, the extra beer and food at the end of the run really helps in that perspective. What kind of exciting races in my bucket list? After TDG, I don't have many, but we do have plans for doing the PTL UTMB this year with Albin and Abi. It's a team race. We have enrolled and gotten into it, but it was cancelled this year, so we might plan to put our names in again and get it done next year, 2021. Yeah. So bucket list, not many races out there that I really want to do, and with this COVID incident and situation happening around the world, I believe being in the mountains is going to be a privilege and a luxury, and you know, perhaps the focus might change to enjoying the journey, the passage of the mountains, rather than going in as a race. So there are certain things that I'm thinking about, and you know, perhaps spend more time with hiking. There are certain passes that I would like to do in Europe, in Indonesia, and even in China, and the US. So one of the routes I'd like to embark upon will be the trek between Chamonix and Zermatt. It's called the hot route, and there's something that appeals to me, and spending time out in the mountains, you know, with no checkpoints, no races, nobody, just you know, and the Great Mountainscape appeals currently based on this situation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think sometimes doing hike is nice because you can really enjoy, and then you take your time to, yeah, I think it's sometimes better than races. Yeah, okay. So, you know, you're TA, you're UGLO ambassador, Tailwind, you know. So, ATM championship races have been growing over these 2 years. So, do you see a potential of having one in Singapore? Like Singapore is, you know, because the trails are very limited, and then we have a lot of authorities and parks, a lot of restrictions here and there. But do you see potential having one here?
Yes, the ATM championships have grown over these 2 years, and I really think that they have a huge potential to have it in Singapore. It's not going to be a high elevation kind of a race in Singapore, as you know, we do not have many natural high D plus terrain here, but we definitely could have a fast course to add on to the repertoire of ATM championships. And I think it'd be great because you know, it's an Asia Trail Master, and we should have different countries, different terrains, and different kind of environment for all the races to understand all the different dynamics and landscapes in Asia. Yeah, so definitely, I think we definitely should have Singapore included in part of the ATM races.
Yeah, okay. So, would you be, okay, now that we can't really travel far away, so would we be seeing yourself to race more of the ATM races, or even like probably contending in the championship with the other big guys?
Me joining in the ATM races, well, I did 2 last year, and they were my first races in Malaysia. There's the Eco 100 Penang, and my first race in Thailand as well, in Koh Samui, the Moon. There was an inaugural trail running under ATM. Both are really very good races, and I enjoyed myself tremendously. The ATM championships, the races was planned for this year as a lead up to PTL, but you know, with the COVID, it apparently did not happen. But yeah, I'm definitely looking into it, and it is part of my list to be out there in the ATM races.
Great. So hopefully we'll see you more here when things get better.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, thanks. That's all for today. Thanks, Alex, for your time. You stay safe.
Thank you.
And we'll see you probably everything gets up better. Okay? Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, that was Amy talking to Alex. Thanks a lot, Amy, for your interview.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Chris.
See you next time. Let us dig a little deeper into Borneo TMBT Ultra now. The new Asia Trail Master Final will thus take place in Sabah on Borneo Island, and that is, of course, the backyard of the meanwhile famous Sabahan trail running community, featuring the likes of, for example, Milton Amat, Wilson Singing, David Simpat, and of course also the Lintanga sisters, Adelina and Jassica. The Lintangas are both grandmasters in ATM and race winners as well. Today we talk to Jess, who was fourth in the 2018 Asia Trail Master Championship and who last year was one of the few runners who managed to complete the 4 Trails Thailand Ultra Series. After one of those races, Moon 100, she also became a cultural icon and ambassador for Sabah following an interview we conducted in Dusun, her native language. But today we will just stick to Bahasa Melayu, with special thanks to Mark TWT, who is also known as Mark TWT, who has conducted and translated the interview with Miss Jassica Lintanga, who is also known on social media as Jess Boubie.
Hai. Ya, sekarang nih saya di Keke. Tapi 1 minggu 1 kali saja sini. Sebab PKP ini kan saya lagi selesai tinggal di kampung. Oh, Sundatang. Itu bukan hobi baru saya, tapi memang saya membesar sama tuh bunyi Sundatang yang masa kecil datuk saya selalu main. So, saya rasa supaya saya tidak lupa saya punya asal usul, saya patut belajar lah. Nama instrumen tuh Sundatang. Saya rasa musik ini macam air, kalau tidak air matilah kita. Musik yang saya selalu dengar traditional music sama of course lah slow rock. Oke, cerita pasal gelang. Sebenarnya ini saya buat untuk terapi saja. Sebab saya mau belajar diam-diam. Saya mau mula berpikir. Tapi saya tidak sangka bila saya buat gelang kan dapat sambutan hangat dari kawan-kawan seluruh Asia lah. Lepas itu saya rasa buat gelang nih bagus untuk saya punya cross training. Sebab bila kaki sudah penat selepas race, saya masih lagi buat training. Tapi untuk apa buat bagi kebenaran untuk merentas daerah. So kami sempat balik kampung. Dan di kampung kami macam biasalah balik pergi rutin yang normal. Kami boleh training, lari, pergi mana-mana. Sebab kalau di kampung kan tidak macam di bandar. Sana kami tinggal berjauhan. Lagipun dia punya community kan tidak ramai. So kami bebas lah pergi mana-mana. Tiada penjarakan sosial. Secara pribadi krisis COVID ini bikin saya sadar hal-hal kecil yang saya selalu lupa, selalu lalai. Saya harap lepas semua ini balik pergi normal, saya harap saya lebih menghargai keluarga dan persahabatan. Masa BOTM termasuk Milton sama Mary Wilson, tapi kalau dorang, sebab dorang tinggal di kampung kan, jadi tidak masalah untuk bikin training macam biasa, LSD macam biasa. So tidak efek lah. Dorang masih training sekarang. Bila TMBT kasih umum last week, yang dorang proceed untuk Desember, ramai betul happy di sini sebab memang kami mau betul ini event jadi. Sebab ini tahun kan ulang tahun ke-10 acara penting TMBT. So macam kami rasa kami mau betul ini acara jadi. Untuk Liga Asia Trail Master tahun ini saya rasa Milton ada peluang untuk jadi John. Saya rasa tidak salah juga untuk pasang angan-angankan. Yang penting kita cukup training, itu sajalah. Oke, untuk acara kegemaran saya masih pilih untuk lari mid distance 50 sama 70. Saya harap saya dapat jumpa semua kawan-kawan ATM saya masa TMBT nanti, dan kita sama-sama celebrate Asia Trail Master Festival. Kamu sabar saja untuk masa sekarang nih, bikin LSD selalu supaya kita punya endurance tidak berkurang. Itu sajalah.
All right, and we're approaching the end of our show now, and what is left, of course, as usual, is our mystery guest. And this time, our mystery guest was actually guessed quite quickly after the second clue already. The mystery guest is none other than Job Tanapong from Thailand. We'll bring him onto the show. Job, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Tale of the Trail, Job. You're here in Chiang Mai, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, I'm live in Chiang Mai right now.
Yeah. Just before on the show, we had Pong Thorn talking to us that in Thailand it is now already again possible to do some training, but he was based in the Pattaya, Bangkok area in Chiang Mai, the biggest trail running community in Thailand. How is it over there with the training of you guys?
Last week we can like run in the park. The park is open and can run, but take social distance. Yes.
Okay. So
and,
you yourself.
The mountain still not open yet.
The mountain is not yet open.
Yes.
Okay. So how about yourself? So have you been able to do some training, keeping your good condition, or at the moment you're not really thinking yet about racing or being in peak condition?
I still like go back to the train like for the base training and core training for the thing that I just missed last year that gave me a huge injury.
Exactly. What was the injury actually? Because after you won those two big races in ATM, you sustained this injury, but it was always a bit of a mystery of what exactly it was. What was the injury?
I got the injury in the ankle from one race in Thailand. So it's more like more hurt when I take the 100K after that.
Yeah,
something like that.
And eventually you had to stop altogether your racing campaign in 2020, which is also why we were missing you at the ATM final last year, right? So right now your injury is all fine again? No more pain?
Yes, injury free now.
Okay, that's great. Job, you're also working as a coffee barista in Chiang Mai, right?
Yes, I have one coffee shop in Chiang Mai and another one in Lamphun near Chiang Mai.
So you are the owner of the shop?
Yes.
Aha, okay. So do you actually work as a barista then?
I'm a owner and barista too.
Oh, you do the job as well. Okay. So what is the specialty of your coffee shop?
Specialty in Chiang Mai, the shop name called Nuan Cafe. The specialty coffee is Nuan name Nuan coffee. It's like a creamy coffee topped with espresso.
Creamy coffee topped with espresso. So it's really something for runners, for endurance athletes. Yeah. Exactly. Job, okay. The winner of the game, the mystery guest, was a runner from Sarawak in Borneo, Malaysia. His name is Trevor Lim. I don't know if you know him personally. He's been in Thailand as well already. I think he ran even UTKC this year. Trevor Lim, of course, had the opportunity to ask you a question as winner of the game. And his question was, I'm reading, how do you keep yourself motivated when most of the ultra trail events are cancelled?
For me, my training and ultra trail is like a long journey. Is not a short journey like a 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. It's like for me, I'm planning the training schedule for like 7 years at the first. So my training goal is like keep the consistent for the training for the long journey, and like the question is like how to motivate myself, right?
Yeah.
The motivation is I think is sometimes is come from my friend, my friend, my training partner. Sometimes like
some of your friends, they're also quite well-known trail runners. I think it's a Cartoon, the
Yes.
girl, Cartoon, yeah, and Sukrit, of course, yeah, who was the best placed trail runner from Thailand in the Asia Trail Master Championship last year, Sukrit Kaoyun. Okay, Job. Final.
Sukrit already moved to Chiang Mai now, like 3 or 4 months ago, and stay here until this day.
Okay.
Yeah, like live in Chiang Mai now. Not come back to Bangkok.
Right. Yeah. Chiang Mai is the place to be for trail running in Thailand. Yes. This we have found out also in the meantime. Job, final question. Looking a little bit into the future, is there one race, maybe Ultra Trail Chiang Rai, that is your big goal for this year?
Maybe.
Okay. All right, Job Tanapong, thank you very much for being on the show with us today. Wishing you all the best, and hopefully see you soon again on the Asia Trail Master Circuit.
You too. Thank you.
That was Job Tanapong. And as such, we have come to the end of episode 3 of The Tale of the Trail. We'll be back in about 2 weeks' time, as usual, with a further update on what will be happening with Aegean Trail. Goodbye for now.